Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller, the podcast. I'm joined by Seth.
Hey, welcome, guys. Thanks for finding us on the internet.
Now, these shows originally aired on Brookings Radio, but now they're all here for your enjoyment. I hope you like it.
There you go. Sit back, enjoy the show, relax. Let us know if you want to see anything on future shows. As we said, this comes out live in the Brookings area, but enjoy this archive episode.
Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. This week, it's that time of year. Beer festival's already happening, and a couple of the biggest in South Dakota will be here before you know it. And Oktoberfest celebrations are popping up all over the place. The beer festival this week. But first, something new for Wooden Legs as they become one of the first in South Dakota to become an Untapped certified venue. Untapped is the social beer app that lets you track and rate your beers. Seth Cook explains the latest move.
So we've been participating in Untapped for a number of years, and just recently, Untapped has upped their game. They've offered some professional level services, and we're one of the first breweries and one of the first bars in the state. There's a couple others, I think a couple out West River does it, to become an official Untapped venue. Now, what that means to the users is it doesn't really change their experience. They can still check in their beers here and see our beers, but it goes to the next level. You can go to our Untapped venue page. You can see our hours of operation. That's probably not as big a deal, but you can see, and what's the real big deal is our upcoming events, and you can see our current live draft list for our house beers. People always want to know about that. For our guest beers, and even our entire bottle selection. So if you're sitting at home, or if you're sitting and want to know if we have a certain beer or a certain style, you can log into the app, click on our venue, and be able to sort through our entire list of what's actually at the bar.
You can also see what's coming up.
It actually gives our bartenders the ability to show you what's on deck, meaning what kegs are coming on next, and the day or the moment, within a couple minutes of when it blows, they log into the app and say, we've just taken a certain beer off and added another beer. That comes into our live menu in real time, and you don't have to just sit there and stalk our menu to see when stuff's coming out. You can actually sign up for alerts and get it on your phone, so you'll get a buzz and say if a certain stout that you've been waiting for has come on, or any of the events have come up. It's a really cool way to give our customers even more of a glimpse behind the scenes.
Check out the new Wooden Legs info on Untapped. All right, it's festival time. We already had the Wing and Brew Festival. That was just the beginning.
It is that time of year. It is festival season. We love doing the festivals. There's a number of them coming up in Sioux Falls and around the region. But maybe first of all, thanks to everybody that came out to win some beer. For those of you that came, I hope you really enjoyed the selection of local brewers and the accessibility of the local brewers. It was probably, in my opinion, one of the best experiences when it came to meeting the actual brewers. Like there's a lot of beer fests, and there's even beer fests that have a lot bigger selection. But this one I thought was really cool because the people you got to talk to were involved in the process of making it.
Among the beer festivals coming up this fall is the biggest in South Dakota, the Sioux Falls Craft Beer Expo on November 5th. It's of special note to Wooden Legs because they've won the People's Choice Award for 2 years running for favorite beer.
We've got some hardware to defend. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But regardless of the outcome of the People's Choice Award, that event has grown every year. And Chopped Liver puts on a top-notch event if you're looking for a premier experience to come in and drink beer. And that ranges from every category. If you're a novice that are just looking to try the different beers, excellent event. If you're a beer geek that likes to go find the little secret stashes of bottle-only beers, excellent event. If you're just a friend of a friend that wants to come and have a hangout on a Saturday, excellent event. Remember the 5th of November. That is going to be a good event down. It's always a good event. It's going to be a great event down in Sioux Falls.
More Beer Untapped with Perry Miller coming right up.
It's that time of the year to celebrate beer. So why don't you try something new?
Welcome back to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Festival season is upon us, the big one, November 5th, with the 3rd annual Sioux Falls Craft Beer Expo, but there'll be plenty between now and then. Those include the many Oktoberfest celebrations that seem to be popping up everywhere these days.
You don't have to go very far over to New Ulm. They've got a real good Oktoberfest.
It's massive.
I think they're doing October 15th or mid-October this year sometime. That's a great one. You can't go wrong with a lot of these. Go with an open mind. Go willing to try stuff. There's usually food, music, and just friendship, and it's usually a pretty good time. I've not been disappointed by the Beer Fest in a long, long, long time.
Among the many other festivals coming up, Beervana at Monks in Sioux Falls, September 17th. Bank Brewing in Hendricks holding Oktoberfest September 24th. Pints and Quarts in Brookings holds their Oktoberfest on October the 8th. Now, if you've never been to a beer festival, there's some things you should keep in mind.
I would actually grab the Untapped app. It's helpful because a lot of people like to write down or like to remember and like to take notes on the things they drink. At some festivals, they'll give you a note card and just take a piece of paper and kind of tick through it. Many events will actually publish a beer list before the event, so you can kind of take in, it's like Disney World. You probably can't ride all the rides, but you want to make sure you get the ones that you really want to see. Make sure you take a sober driver. Make sure prepare ahead. The beer festivals, no matter how cautious you are, the reality is that it is a beer festival, and you want to be very responsible in doing these things. And usually, grab something to eat. And food is vital. Hydrate, grab some food, grab some friends, grab your notebook, and go out and down and do it. And if it's the first festival you've ever been to, if you were brand new at a festival, all you got to remember is show up and have a good time. Like it's a lot of fun. Do not be scared of any beers. The sample sizes are low. Try everything, enjoy it, and just
everything that you can.
Everything that you can, right? Try. Tick through your list. Start with the stuff that you know, and be willing to venture out on some of the stuff you don't know.
And if you take in a traditional Oktoberfest, there's a German beer style that goes along with it. The Marzen, often called Oktoberfest.
I don't know how to describe it, but in my personal opinion, it is the most fall-like beer that I can ever drink. Like when I drink a Marzen, when I drink an Oktoberfest, it is football weather. It just the leaves change as I drink it.
The Oktoberfest beers have already started to arrive at Brookings Liquor Store. That, according to beer guide Drew Eklund.
Oktoberfests are trickling in. As we sell through our summer beers, more will be coming. Oktoberfest, or Marzen, is a medium to full-bodied lager with lightly toasted, spicy malt flavors and a crisp, clean finish. Our most popular Oktoberfest is Sam Adams, still the reigning champion by quite a margin. My favorite would be from Eyinger. It's awesome. You can find that one in the Bomber section. And I think we're going to get Hofbrau 4-packs as well, which is awesome. Other Oktoberfests include Summit, Shells, Leinenkugels, Central Waters, Lakefront, Shiner, and Goose Island, with more to come.
There's other new beer to be had at Brookings Liquor Store, including some very limited editions.
From Deschutes, it's Black Butte 28, $16.99 a bomber. We're limiting it to 2 per customer right now. This year, in addition to aging the beer in bourbon barrels, they've added Scotch barrels to give it kind of a slightly smoky flavor. Vanilla and orange make their appearance once again alongside flavors of dark chocolate and fruit. Next we have from Shells, from their Noble Star collection, it's Orbital Drift, $15.99 for the bomber. This is a Berliner Weiss beer aged for 16 months in Shell's Cypress Wood lager tanks, built in 1935. True to the original German style, this beer is sharp and sour and complex with a low ABV. The last one I have is from Boulevard. It's Love Child number 7, $17.99 for the bomber. This year's Love Child takes on more of a wine characteristic than previous versions. That's because 48% of the beer was aged in red wine barrels. Flavors of cherry, green apple, and vinegar. This is an intense, complex beer that should be on every sour beer lover's must-buy list.
That's it for this week's show. Until next time, drink local and drink responsibly. Thank you for listening to this archived edition of Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Feel free to listen to other episodes, and if there's anything you'd like us to talk about on a future show, please let us know. Thanks again.